Are we ready?
We're ready.
Are we rolling?
We're
We are
ready.
rolling. We're ready and we're rolling.
No!
But we're not rocking.
Oh, okay.
In your head, lock the doors and close the blinds. Turn on your TV, turn off your mind.
Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome for the first time, or welcome back to Soul of a Gamer. I am Scott Nell.
And I'm Steve McGee.
No, he's not.
Yes, I am.
I don't think you said that right.
Stephen McGee.
I think you just did it wrong.
How did I do my name wrong?
I don't know, but can you redo it?
Stephen McGee.
No, the whole thing.
I'm Stephen McGee.
I hate it. Okay, well, moving on.
You just hate me.
Moving on. Every week we come at you with the game that we play and we give you our little review of that game.
Yes.
And last week's game was...
Wait, I know this one.
You do. I do. I know it, so...
I know this one. It wasn't Split Second.
No, it was Ori and the Blind
Yes.
Forest. Also, one of my
ago.
buddies said that Ori and the Blind Forest, the second game, all the issues we had in the first game, they fixed in the second one.
Yeah, I heard the
So-
second one was better too. My wife also said that.
Maybe that's one of the future games we put on the list at some point. Because
I was actually thinking if we get enough people doing this, because we talked about possibly doing bonus episodes in the future, we could have our bonus episodes be either sequels or DLC.
True. Only if the DLC is like an additional game.
Yeah.
Some DLC is like lame and like 2 hours long DLC. You did.
But I mean, we could have like a 30-minute little bonus episode on that.
True. But yeah. This week's game is...
Dream Daddy.
Who's your dream daddy?
Dream.
Yeah, the song actually was cool. See, this game did it perfect.
Yes, it did.
We'll talk about it in the Are We Jammin' section, but they did a really good job. And I'm hoping you press the little stream button too.
The stream button?
Yeah, so at the beginning of the game, it opens up a little box that says, "Are you streaming?" And if you click it, it takes out all the content that can be considered illegal or whatever.
Yes.
Did you do that?
No.
Oh, you're going to love what happens when you do.
Okay.
So I guess we're going to skip the first segment today. There's nothing on the box. There's no box.
Yeah.
The box doesn't exist in this game.
Yeah, I think it was only a digital Liberty.
Yeah, that makes sense because Game Grumps is not like a full-fledged gaming studio.
For people who don't know who Game Grumps are, these are the producers of this game, and Game Grumps was one of the first popular Let's Play channels.
Yeah.
2 guys who just play a bunch of video games. They actually are really hilarious.
Yeah.
They have one of my favorite videos of them is them playing, I think it was Zelda Skyward Sword. And they're, I think it was on the Wii U or something, and they were trying to take selfies while fighting Ganon.
Oh, okay.
Because they had like this selfie mode in the game, and you could, if you were like talking, the voice or like the mouth would move with the character, so you'd be like, oh! and try to take pictures like that while Ganon's behind him.
That's good. But yeah, so this is not a full-fledged release game. It doesn't have the fan or the box art and all that stuff. I'm sure they didn't really care to do that.
Probably not.
Not with the digital release. So we're just going to go on to the next section.
Are we jammin'?
I'm going to say yes.
I definitely say yes.
So the theme song, they did such a good job on it. It's actually pretty good.
It's so catchy.
Yeah, it's very
you
catchy.
You just sway to it.
So, and this is one of those games where they don't really have voice acting, but they have voice acting.
Yes.
So, like, what you're saying and what's being said to you isn't being said by the character, but they'll say little things like, "Oh my god," and "Did you really just do that?" Like, stuff like that, which I thought was a little
certain
cool.
gasps or sighs, or like, especially with Amanda, like every time she got like embarrassed, I went, "Ugh,"
yeah,
or something like that.
So, and that was cool, having those little like things in the background, not just the text speed or whatever you're looking at there. I thought that was really cool. Now, the one song that they did have, if you did the Matt thing, is Pup, who's a real band.
Yes.
So Pup plays their song during the part where you're like, it's a little mini game, you're trying to get to the stage and trying to avoid being knocked off. But if you do the little streaming thing I was talking about at the beginning, Pup's not playing.
Oh.
It's a song written by the maker, and he's like, "We tried really hard to get you the song for Pup, but licensing sucks," and stuff like that. It's really funny. Like, it's just him on an acoustic guitar, and I thought that was way funnier than having the Pup song in there.
All right, I'll just have to cut out the Pup song. I'll have to remember that.
Yeah. But that was so much fun, and you should look up the song he wrote. It is funny. It's really good.
I'll definitely look that up.
So they did 2 good songs for this. Like, every game, that's what my expectation now is. Like, I just want that song in the game.
You do. You want that one song that's just catchy as hell.
Yeah.
And this one had that for sure in spades. And like one of the things I gotta say too is like, just even the background
Oh, yeah,
music
the
and
ambience,
noises
yeah.
and ambience and stuff, like it was so
Doors
good.
will randomly slam,
Yeah.
like when Amanda, your daughter's running out of the house, a door slams, and you're like, holy shit, that was loud. Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, they really did a good job with a lot of those different things, and I thought that was really cool. And if we're talking dialogue as well in the Are We Jammin' section,
Yeah.
fucking
Hilarious.
hilarious.
Oh, God,
Oh
so
my
good.
God.
The dad puns were on point. One of my favorite parts in the game is your dad comes back, or the dad comes back from like a date or something, or like, I think it was the ice cream one. So you
okay.
go get ice cream because you have these random encounters that you get off to the side for messages. Random encounters, and your dad go gets ice cream, and he comes back, and Amanda's like, "Dad, I'm hungry," and then she goes, "No," and he goes, "Hi, hungry, I'm Dad." And it's just like the best part of the game were the dad puns. Like they were so good, they were so funny.
During the poker or during the barbecue, when all the dads were all speaking in puns about Joseph's grilling.
Yep.
That was all pretty good. There's just so many puns in this. all the stuff
Matt's
with
coffee shop was all puns for bands, which was actually pretty good.
I was watching your video and it said you were wondering if some of the bands were all real bands.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
And like the iced Tegan and Sarah drink that you got. So Tegan and Sarah,
Yeah.
you're gonna love who they are and what song they did.
What?
Everything is Awesome from the Lego movie.
Oh, is that them?
They
Okay.
do that with Lonely Island.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So they did a lot of cool stuff. Like Matt's a big we'll get into him in the story mode, but there's a lot of cool puns in there. Honestly, the dialogue is all hilarious. There are points where you're just like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Well, and there's some touching moments. There's some really good advice moments if like you choose the right options.
Yeah.
The choices that you had were funny. Like one of the first choices you make in the game, your daughter's waking you up at the very beginning of the game, and we both made the same exact choice right at the beginning. It's waking up, pretending to be dead, or being like 5 more minutes, and we both chose pretend to be dead.
Yep.
And he goes right into, I roll out my tongue and I lay my head tilted and flat, and then I sit there. I bequeath to you all of my belongings. Spread my ashes on the recliner.
And she's just like, "Dad, this only worked on me when I was 12." It's just like, it's so good. It's so much fun. But yeah, the dialogue in this game on point. They did such a good job. I can't remember. One of the things was when she's talking about Emma R.
Oh, Emma R and Emma P.
Emma P. I think it's Emma P. When she's talking about her, she's like, you remember who Emma P is, right? And it's like, is that the one who pooped in the bed?
Who pooped her pants during the sleepover?
Or the one who threw the flaming baseball
at the police station. Or
I don't remember the third one, but they were funny.
She kidnapped people's pets.
Oh yeah, they were funny. Like they were so funny. And then I said that one, and the police and Amanda's like, "Dad, that was you." And he's like, "Well, I didn't know the police station was there."
I wasn't trying to hit the police station; it just happened to be there.
Yeah, that was just.
Yeah, I remember you telling the police that.
Yeah, one of the things you can do is Amanda asks you to put on pants, and you can say "fuck authority." Yeah, I was like, "Fuck authority."
I put on pants.
Oh.
Which was funny because when I went to the party, Brian's like, "Yeah, Daisy forced me to put on my out of the house pants today."
Yeah.
And I was like, and I gave a glaring look to Amanda like, I don't know what that's like, being forced to put on pants when you don't want to do that.
See, and if you don't put on the pants, Amanda's like, "See, Dad?" He's like, "Oh, it's okay if Brian wears cargo shorts, but if I do it, it's the end of the world."
That's awesome.
It's good. It's fun. This game's dialogue was on point, guys.
Seriously, it's so funny.
Yeah.
And I know Scott's already got a couple videos out, and I'm going to be putting the video gameplay of this out. If you don't want to play it, just watch us play it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun game to play, and you can play it along with us. Actually, you can just watch us and not have any input on any of the decisions. If you want to.
You can say what you would have decided, but we'll decide what we want to decide.
True. All right, well, I think that's it for dialogue.
I think so.
I think we're going to move on to...
How does it play?
So this game has a very interesting dynamic with how does it play. Most of the game is text-based, just talking and picking wording choices, and then you have some mini-games in the game. Now, and the first one they introduced made it seem like all the mini-games were going to be amazing.
Yes.
Like, because they did a Pokemon. They literally, you're battling another dad, Brian, who's just a complete jackass. He was one of my least favorite dads.
Yeah.
And he sends out himself, because you're basically battling with your daughter's accomplishments.
Yes.
So you like...
It's a bragging Pokemon battle with your daughters.
Yeah.
And I love that there's an option because it gives you the full range of options like brag, items, daughters, and then run away.
Yeah.
Like you get the 4 options of Pokemon. And I love it that there's the daughter option. So I clicked on the daughter option, and it's like, you only have one daughter. You can't switch your daughter.
That's good. Yeah, and that minigame was a lot of fun. Like, it was interesting that they did that. They could pull something so old into the game, and then subsequent minigames, not great. I played them all. They're all okay.
I didn't play them all. But...
a couple of the ones you could whittle wood. That was with Robert's dates.
Makes sense.
God, what were the others?
There's the one where you have to get through the crowd and find Matt.
Okay, yeah, so that's the Matt date, yes. There's a few more. Man, I'm blanking on... Oh, mini golf. If you go on a date with Brian, you do like a little mini golf game, but it is the most fucked up. It's like this fast.
Oh.
And it's rotating back and forth, and you have like 10 seconds
I was like, mini golf sounds like fun, actually.
Yeah, it was not fun, and it's all hole-in-one. You have to get a hole-in-one or you fail.
Oh, jeez.
On like 20 holes. So
that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, and then trivia. Trivia was actually fun with Hugo. So if you do Hugo's second date, you get trivia with him, which is kind of like a mini game ish. I'm trying to remember. There were a couple others, but they're not coming to mind. But there's a few, but all of them kind of got more and more lackluster as you went along.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that.
I don't know if they just put all of their eggs into that first basket and said, we're going to make this one the most fun minigame.
And besides the first minigame, all the minigames were on the second date? No, first dates.
No, well, it depends.
Or first or second date.
So Matt's was on his first, Hugo's was on his second, Brian's was on his first, but you got 2 with Brian. Sorry, you had a fishing one too. You played Bejeweled, basically. You know how you just match up certain things in a row.
Yeah, the 3
yeah,
things.
exactly. So that's so each one had a different thing going on with their dates. Some of them didn't have mini games. I don't think Damien or Craig had a mini game.
I don't think so either.
Associated with their dates, I'm pretty sure. And then fucking Robert's only mini game was you literally whittle.
Oh, okay.
And you can move it around, but there's no point.
Oh, okay.
It's really weird. I didn't
weird.
Quite understand it, but yeah.
Oh, there's also the piano mini game too.
Yeah, so that's. So the final ones, I think everyone had a final mini game.
Yeah.
The piano one wasn't really a mini game; it just wanted you to play bad.
Yes.
Like the whole point in that was to play bad to make Matt look great.
Yes.
So, the game, the play style in this is mostly just point and click. You're playing, you're clicking, you're picking your outcomes. You're trying your best to get the answer that they want.
Yeah.
Because you'll have different things that resonate with the characters. So if Joseph says, like, how do you feel about God? And you say, fuck God, I'm anarchy. He's not going to respond well to that because he's a youth minister.
If you tell him Asadiba Iboy.
Yes, you're fucked. But like each character has an ideal thing, and it might say, I love God, and that might be his ideal answer, and you'll get a bunch of bonus points for that. And that matters at the end of the game, because at the end of the game, the dad of your choice either will stay with you or leave you.
Yes.
So it's that kind of thing. So yeah, that's pretty much, gameplay is pretty short in this one. There's not a lot.
A lot of these dating simulator games, I know we're going to be playing a few more of them for the channel and stuff. There's not a lot of gameplay to them. It's mainly just all the different like mini game kind of stuff we can do in it. And as far as this one goes, like the main mechanics of the gameplay are just fine for what it is.
Yeah.
And if honestly, you're looking for a very action-packed, controller-heavy, I got to press a lot of buttons, this is
not the game for you. But I mean, this one has a lot of comedy, and I think that really takes out a lot of the need for a lot of gameplay.
Yes, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
It fills the air with so much heart and comedy that it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And honestly, like the like serene moments, those moments where you're just like, I'm your dad, I'm gonna do this for you always. Like those are actually really sweet.
Oh no,
and really cool.
And some of them, I swear, like on. Which you guys, if you watch my videos, you'll see there's some of the moments where I was like, damn, like I would give this exact same advice to my daughter. Like this is fucking beautiful. I wish someone would have said this to me when I was younger.
If I was a daughter, I wish someone would have said this to me too. All right, so on to the next segment.
It's story time. Let's get started.
All right, story time. So the story is very loose in this game.
Yes.
Because it depends on your decisions.
Do we want to just stick with maybe like Matt's storyline?
We can go into some of the dates for all of them. They're not very long. We don't have to go into the nitty-gritty about each one. We can just say what the dates are. To start out, you're moving across town.
Yes.
From one part of town to the other. You've been single for a little while, and this is up to you whether you were a gay parent adopted or a parent and your daughter was born.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't even matter. Either
It just changes some of the things.
Yeah,
with,
the
like,
dialogue.
the names and
Yeah.
like the pictures of the old.
I didn't think it would
couples and
even
stuff.
change your wife or husband's name because it's Alex.
Oh, it was Alex.
So I
Okay.
bet like
So
either
it wasn't-
way, it's probably
I was,
Alex.
I was a gay guy always.
Okay.
And we adopted.
Okay, yeah, because I had a wife and
Yeah, and you actually had her.
Yes, so it's both Alex. Like
They're
I
both
figured
Alex, yeah.
either way it would be Alex because that's a gender neutral name.
Yep.
So yeah, you start out. Your wife/husband is dead. Whoever you chose, you make a character, and you're moving across town with your daughter.
Yep. And she's 17 at the time, just turning. Or no, she just turned 18.
She just turned 18, so she's an adult.
And she's a senior in high school, about ready to graduate.
Yeah. I think it's so hard to tell. So time in this game's kind of wacky because each date. So like with Damien, there's something that you do. You get this like little package at your door that you can bring to him.
Okay.
And I don't know if it inspires you to go like learn about other people because that just happens as random occurrences in the game.
I never got a package for Damien.
See, that's weird. I did. I got a package for Damien. I had to go over to his house and you learn about him. He like does the insect thing where he posts insects on his wall.
Oh, I did not know that.
Because in the package was a bunch of dead butterflies.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
and then that inspired me to go on a date with him because I was like, oh, okay, this guy seems pretty cool, actually. And then you go into his house and he starts explaining, I actually post dead butterflies. You're like, you already fucking told me that. What are you talking about? So, time in this game is kind of wonky. So, things that are happening on the side, those random
Yeah.
chats that you get, aren't actually happening at the same time the dates are happening before or after. They're happening somewhere on their own little level.
I could see that being a thing just because it was probably just coded that way in the
Yeah.
chat system that it would always say those set things whenever you talk to each individual person.
Or if you got like a certain order you did the dads in or whatever. I'm not too sure, but whatever they decided for that, it made zero sense because just time wise, you're like, I'm gonna hang out with Craig. Craig, we already did this like 40 times. Why are we fucking talking about it again?
Right.
Anyway, you move across town. Your daughter's in high school, about to graduate. Maybe there's a year left. Maybe it's her last semester. I honestly don't know because they weren't very clear on that.
It was her senior year.
No, it's her senior year, but it's either the full year or one semester
Oh,
or 1 week.
that's true.
Or 1 day.
I guess it doesn't really.
Also, you're never working. She's never in school. Like, literally, I went to the school one time to
After the school.
Well, with
Yeah.
Damien.
Yeah.
Because Damien's second or first date, you have to go to the school because Lucien was trying to put Ernest into a brick wall.
Oh,
It was
weird.
really interesting. It was called The Cask of Amontillado. It's a Edgar Allan Poe thing where he gets
Okay.
a guy drunk, promises him good vintage wine, and puts him like buries him into his or brings him into a cellar and builds a brick wall around his drunk ass. And Lucien was doing it to Ernest, and he's like, "The fucker was sitting there for 20 minutes letting me."
The only time I ever went to the school was to meet Hugo.
Yeah.
During the parent-teacher conference.
But you go to the school and your daughter's not there, and then you
That's
go
weird.
home and she's at home, and you're like, it's the middle of the school day. What the fuck? It's just such a weird thing, and that just shows you like time doesn't really exist in this world.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you go to the neighborhood, right? And I believe at this point is when you meet Brian. He's the first one you meet.
Not technically. I met Matt first. So it depends on which decision you pick to
Oh,
do when you
true,
get to the
that's
house.
right.
So you could go to the coffee shop right away. You could talk about the dogs in the
Yeah.
park, or you could start unpacking.
Yeah. So you either meet Matt or Brian. It sounds
Or
like first.
Joseph.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
I guess
unpack,
true.
then Joseph.
So
shows up.
those three, by far the coolest one out of those three is Matt.
Oh yeah.
Because Joseph is a churchy piece of shit, and then Brian is just this one-upper, and he's like the worst kind of person. One-uppers are the worst kind of people. They're boring. And, yeah.
And he's definitely like the least attractive in my opinion.
Oh, you should have seen him with his shirt off. You didn't get to see him with his shirt.
Oh yeah, these are all the daddies.
Wait, no, that one. That one's Brian. No, wait, that one.
Yeah, so Brian, then Hugo, then Matt, then Joseph, then Craig, then Damien, then Robert.
Yeah. So with Brian, he's just a one-upper. He's the one where you get the Pokemon game. So I would recommend doing that one first.
I still got to do it anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just fun to start the game
yeah.
out like that. Like, that was actually a really cool thing to start the game out with. And then meeting Matt was cool because you get to see all these cool little puns on music people. And then going with Joseph, he just comes to your door and reminds you that your wife is dead. So fuck that guy.
Like when you get to name the banana bread.
Oh, yeah. That was good. That was fun.
I did the grateful banana bread, and you did the Dead Banana Bread Kennedy, or the Banana Bread Kennedys.
Yeah, because the Dead Kennedys are a great band. Yeah. It's Holiday in Cambodia. Yeah. It's a holiday in Cambodia. Yeah. That's
about that song.
A little punk rock band
song.
from the 80s or 70s, 80s. Well, yeah. So, and this is where decisions are coming into play. So at this point, you've met a couple of people, and then you go to a barbecue and you meet kind of the rest. You do some things in between there. You go to the mall and you see Damien like yelling at someone at the greatest name for a fucking store, Dead Goth and Beyond.
Yep.
It's just a great fucking name.
Spencer's, basically.
And then did you see what the record store's name was?
Oh, I forgot what it was. Oh, it was Vinyl Fantasy.
Vinyl Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
It was just so fucking funny. I'm like, this is great. This is fucking hilarious.
I loved all the names of all the shit they had in
did
this.
so good on the names. So you do all this stuff. You go to a barbecue. You like officially meet the dads. Yeah. I should say on the first night, Robert is like an alcoholic kind of guy. He does proposition you.
Yes.
And you can say yes, and then he will never talk to you again throughout the game. If you do.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so if you say yes, he will never talk to you. If you say no, you have an option to go on your dates with him, and then he kind of like...
Yeah, so the first night you're there, Amanda wants to have... Your daughter wants to have a couple of her friends over, and she wants you out of the house.
Bitch friends.
And yes, they are bitches. And you go to the bar and watch the game. When you first get there, this girl starts hitting on you immediately.
Yeah.
You find out later that that's Joseph's alcoholic whore wife.
Whore wife.
That's what he says. Yeah. And she hits on you and wants you to buy her a drink and stuff. And then you get hit on by Robert. And then you are walking home because you both live really close to
Yeah.
All these daddies live in the same cul-de-sac.
They're all single gay men.
Except for Joseph. He's a married man, but he's still gay.
In the cul-de-sac.
Yes, and he's still gay. Which is interesting for a youth minister. But yeah, so when you get to around Robert's place, he's like, so, we gonna do this?
Yep, and if you say yes, he will not date you anymore.
He will fuck you. Yeah. And you'll wake up in his place.
But he will not date you anymore. So it's this whole, like, you lose out on the cool dates that you could get with him. Which they were actually, it was a really hard choice between Matt and him for me, because Robert was so fucking cool.
And we'll get into this later, but Robert's dates are actually the most important for the secret story.
Yeah. So, after this, you go to the barbecue, you meet all the dads, like officially you get to know them, and then your daughter tells you about Dad Book.
Yep.
And Dad Book is like Facebook, but for dads. My favorite is when Amanda messages you. She's just like, hey,
posing as a dad.
Hey, Amanda's dad. It's me, your old friend from college.
It's so good to talk to you again.
You should buy your daughter more things.
Yeah.
Just like
Amanda, is this you? No, this is not me. I'm your friend from college. Don't you remember?
And what did he say? He was like, I barely passed college. No, wait.
Yeah.
Don't remember that.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was fun. That whole conversation was fun.
All of their bickering together was so good.
So on Dad Book, each person has a 3-heart section. Each heart represents a date. Each dad can have 2 dates before the final 3rd date, which ends the game, and then you can start a new game to maybe do it over again.
Or you can go from a load.
Yeah, so it saves right before that, so you can go and do each dad ending. I ended up doing the Matt ending, which was one of my favorites. I think we'll start there. You want to do the first date?
Sure. For Matt?
For Matt.
Okay. So Matt's first date is... this is the concert.
Yeah.
So Matt's first date, you go to the coffee shop, and he tells you about this concert he's going to, and then he asked if you want to go, and you say you haven't been to a concert in, like, 20 years, and then you're like, wait, no, I went to one of those screaming boy band concerts that my daughter loved, and he said his daughter did the same thing, and so he offers to take you. You go, and like Scott said, it's the band named Pup.
It's a Canadian punk rock anarchy band, I think.
Yes. And then
I listened to that song, and it wasn't great, so I don't know. It was like I wanted to hear it at the very least, so I could like be supportive, but it wasn't amazing.
No.
Not as good as the one they replaced it with. So.
They also made it way more fun.
Yeah.
So you go there, and you notice right away that Matt just knows everyone there. Pretty much everyone knows Matt. Everyone's talking to Matt, saying hi, shaking his hands. You meet Pablo there.
Yep.
which is this kid that he's kind of always been around.
He's in Witch House music.
Yes.
I don't know what that is still.
The Vacant Veil.
Vacant Veil.
And he sells t-shirts and stuff for different bands. And you start eyeing some of the t-shirts, and Matt brings you up to the stage, and then they're like, oh, opening tonight for Pup is this... I can't remember the name of this band.
Something Orchestra. It's a 17-piece band with... Oh, what was it? Man, I just saw it too. It's a something orchestra, but it's like the shittiest fucking band in the world.
Yes, they do like the dumbest shit. They don't even always play music. Like sometimes they're just breaking shit or smacking each other.
So the end of their show is the drummer strains his leg.
Sprains his ankle.
He sprains his ankle, and they have to carry him off stage, and Matt gives you earplugs because they're so bad.
Yeah, and it's pretty bad from what they play for you.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes someone gets on fire, and sometimes like things get broken, and it's just so stupid.
Yeah. They're one of those local bands who are really like a lot of people like, I think. And that's why they get these cool shows.
They're great for drunk concert venues, but they're not great for anything else.
Yeah.
And it's only great because everyone's like, look how fucking crazy these fuckers are.
So and then on this stage, it's where you get your second mini game, kind of. You get another mini game. You have to just stay on the stage and not get hit by people as well as you can while you're trying to make your way back to Matt.
Yeah, so you have to walk through the crowd, and you have to like move forward. And
I fell off the edge like almost immediately.
Oh, I never fell off.
I think there was 30 seconds left. I never found Matt until after the show.
Oh, I found him during the show.
Oh, no. See, I missed him. I got him after the show.
So, yeah, if you complete the minigame, then you're like wandering around, and you're like, I can't find him. And then all of a sudden, someone grabs your hand and pulls you in. It's Matt.
Yeah, if you don't do the mini game, he still comes up to you. It doesn't lose you any points not to do that, obviously, because I got the good ending and you got the middle ending.
Yeah, I got the middle ending, I think, because of what I did at the end.
Yeah, so it really doesn't lose you points to lose Matt in that situation. It might get you more points to do it. I'm not too sure, but yeah. And then Matt takes you to a diner after that, I believe.
Well, before that, at the end of the show, he says he'd ask you to go stay outside. And he's like, I got to say goodbye to a bunch of people real quick.
Oh.
So he says goodbye. You wait outside the concert venue for a while. And then after like 2 minutes, he comes back out. And he's got something behind his back. And he's like, I got you a present.
Oh, he didn't do that for me.
Oh.
Because I didn't finish the minigame.
There you go. Yeah. So this is the ending if you get the good minigame, which get.
You get the shirt from Pablo?
Yes. Oh, okay. So the shirt that you're eyeing, he bought it for you.
Oh, that's cute.
And I was like, that's so... literally in my video, you'll see it. I was like, that's so cute. Like, I'm falling for this guy already. This guy listens. He bought me something.
Right. So, yeah, after that, you go to a diner. You just talk about your daughters for a little while. Yeah. You talk about life. You find out Matt's really anxious around people. Doesn't really like to do stuff. He used to be in a band and stuff, and he tells you all about it and blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
That date's pretty much done after that. You walk him home. Nothing happened. No kissing outside the door. Nothing like that.
No.
You're just kind of hanging out for the first time, learning the ways. Well, let's go through everyone's first date and then everyone's second date. You want to do it that way?
Do we want to go through everyone's or just like our favorite ones?
Well, let's go through. I mean, dates are not long. Most of these dates are not like Matt's. They did not go on like that.
I didn't do everyone's first
That's okay.
Second dates,
I can let you know about some of everyone's like first dates. They're not crazy. A lot of them are really easy.
How about we'll do everyone's first dates and then we'll do our favorite second dates.
Okay.
And then we'll just talk about Matt's final date.
Okay.
And
so,
maybe Joseph's because...
Yeah, Joseph because it's fucked up.
Yeah.
So we'll go with Brian first. Brian, his first date is mini golf. His daughter asked you to go mini golf. Also, your daughter, this is really weird. They get along. She gets along with all these kids in the neighborhood, and none of them are even close to her age.
No.
Not a single one. They're all 10 to 12.
The closest one is Carboncita.
Oh, and she's 12. And then Lucian is her age, but they're not friends.
Yeah.
So it's just strange. And also, it's up in the air how old any of these people are. They should all be in their 40s.
Yeah, I was guessing.
But
because like 40, he would have had her at 22.
Yeah.
All the other dads could be younger because all their kids are younger.
Yeah, but it's hard. Like Brian looks like he's over 40.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
They're all between the ages of 35 and 45 probably.
Yeah. So Brian has a daughter, Daisy.
Yes.
They want to go mini golfing for his first date, and you turn it into a competition. Whoever won the mini golf has to mow the loser's lawn.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so, and then on the second date, they do this whole, like, whoever loses, they have to give something of value to the winner.
Okay.
And it's like a tree trimmer and something else, a handsaw.
Oh, jeez.
So that's what they bet. But on the first one, they bet the mowing law, and you can beat them.
Yeah.
So, and they can beat you. They beat me.
Yeah.
But you can beat them.
Yeah.
So you have different options there with Brian's first date. Not a lot happens. Yeah, Daisy and Amanda end up leaving because it's just a competition and they can tell it's getting a little uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
And you go to a bar with him and get a fruity drink, and you just drink and talk, and you find out like, oh yeah, he's actually a cool dude. So, but still, I didn't like him. I did not like Brian.
No,
it was
I
not
didn't
fun.
like him.
Hugo's first date is kind of funny. He takes you. It's not really a date. Like his were chores.
Oh, okay.
So he makes you be a chaperone on a field trip.
Oh.
So you go to the aquarium, and he kind of like shows you like you don't like fish and stuff, and he shows you fish, and this one girl steals a crab and puts it in her backpack. And then she puts this other girl sneaks into the penguin enclosure and tries to steal the penguins.
All right.
So you have to stop them before anyone notices, and that's the other mini game. You have to punch penguins back from the door. So you're just punching penguins back to keep them out of the door, and you promise to give the girl $25 if she leaves the penguin enclosure.
What the fuck?
Yeah. She only have like 12 on you, and you have to give her the rest later.
Damn.
So it's really funny. But it's a chore, and Hugo wasn't fun to be around. Like, he was just very articulate. He's like a teacher.
He's very hipster teacher vibes. Like, I'm that cool teacher.
I'm a socio-cool guy who knows what the shit
I'm a
kid.
socioeconomics literature teacher.
And his kid's name is Ernest, and he's kind of a shitbag. He's like a pot smoker. And,
named him after Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah. Because his last name is Hemingway, I think.
Yeah.
Hugo Hemingway. It's just weird with him. But his first date was kind of okay. It was funny because he's like, I'll distract him while you get the girl out of the penguin enclosure. And he's like, did you know that penguins, contrary to popular beliefs, are birds? Like, that was a little funny.
Whoa.
Yeah. So he was trying to do that. We talked about Matt's first date. Joseph's first date is lame. It's a bake sale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you're sitting there, you go to his house, his kids are fucking creepy as shit.
They are creepy as shit.
He's got 4 kids, I think.
Yes, 4 kids.
Twins.
The twins are like the shining twins.
Yeah.
They're fucking just...
Oh, I'm like, are you gonna say them?
No.
So
That was the whole
funny
point.
is you tell them during that date, it's like, can you say this? And it's a line from The Shining, and they both say it in unison. And the dad's like, don't fucking get him started. It's just the funniest thing.
That's awesome.
So Joseph asks you to help him with the bake sale. You help him make brownies, and then you go there, and I don't remember if I said this on camera or off camera. I think it was off camera. But you can lie. Matt comes up and tries to buy a brownie with Carmencita. And he's like, oh, is this your own recipe? And you lie. You can either say it's from the box, we winged it, or it's my great grandmama's recipe, or Nana's. I think it's Nonna.
Oh, okay.
And if you say that, you take out this whole tale about your Nana like making brownies that everyone would come and get, and then fucking Joseph is just like, ugh, lying is a cardinal sin. And you're just like, okay, fuck you.
Yeah, I was just playing, dude.
Yeah, his second date's funny because you go to a dance, and on the poster, he had Ernest write his poster, and Jesus is coming.
Oh, okay.
But he spelled it C-U-M.
Oh, I saw that. I did see that, actually.
So it's it was so funny. So you change it to calming. You kind of make the U and A and put an L in there. So Jesus is calming. It's really funny.
That was pretty awesome.
So yeah, his first date's kind of lame. Craig's first date is a softball game. He's a coach for a softball team, and like his date's funny because every single one wants to fuck him.
Yes.
Every single one. And
he's a good-looking dude.
He is a good-looking dude.
He's a ripped dude, and he's a single dad.
But he should be your age, so...
Yes, he should be the exact same age, because they were in college together, but at least close to it.
He acts way younger than you.
Yeah, he's totally a bro. Like, literally, whatever you picture when you picture a bro, he's a bro.
Yeah. So you go to a softball game, then afterward you go to basically Chuck E. Cheese's. Basically, it's like some kind of Chuck E. Cheese Orient kind of place. But you go there and there's a pinball machine and Amanda's playing and this woman kept coming up to you to ask questions about Craig.
Oh, jeez.
And she's like leaning on the pinball machine and Amanda's like, lady, if you fuck up my pinball game, I swear to God.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because she's trying to beat your score because you just scored a shit ton on pinball.
Nice.
So yeah, then Craig ends up taking you somewhere else because you abandoned that. I don't remember where he ends up taking you. I think you just go outside and throw a ball around.
Okay.
I think so. If I remember right, you're just throwing a softball back and forth because the moms can take it from there watching all the kids.
Okay.
And then he's got twins and a baby.
Was it the second date with him then that you work out with him and then you go out to brunch?
And you what?
You go out to brunch or whatever? Like he takes you out to eat or something afterwards?
No, so that's not a date. That's a
That's just a get together.
Yeah, that's just one of those random things that happens to get you interested in other people.
Okay.
His second date's fucking awesome. It's like a detective date.
Oh, okay.
You're trying to find out where this stuffed animal is, and it turns out that Joseph's twins have it, and they're cutting off its limbs.
Oh, yep. I do remember hearing about that because that also has to deal with the...
Yeah, Joseph's kids are fucking creepy as shit. So Craig's fun. Damien was actually way more fun than I thought he would be. I was creeped out by him originally because you go into the mall and you see him and he's like, I'll have you know here, sir, I purchased this and it's not this. And he's all pissed off.
This was supposed to be a Victorian thing, and this isn't Victorian. It's
who knows?
Middle Eastern European or something like that. And it's like
he was all kinds of pissed off.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
And when you message on Dad Book, his is the best because it says poses 67, or it says your name and then it says, I am delighted that you have taken the time to correspond with me. It's like the funny, like he does a great long message and for the second date, he sends you a real letter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Okay.
So your first date is you go over to his house for tea.
Yes.
And just hang out in his garden, and then that thing happens with the cask of Amontillado. Again, Edgar Allan Poe poem. Lucian's doing it to Ernest because Ernest is a dumb fuck. And Lucian was like, he let me do it for 20 minutes before he fucking noticed. He's like, maybe it was the cackling. I'm like, maybe you should have noticed that he's putting bricks around you fucker.
That's awesome.
So on the date, you just go over to his house, and he's a little creepy, but he's fun. You have a little mini game where you break a statue and you have to put it back together.
Okay.
So gargoyle statue, whatever. You go to the school, you get the kid, you drive them both home, and you can tell him like he handles the situation really well. Damien's a really good dad.
Nice.
Instead of yelling at him, he's like, son, I don't want you to go to counseling for this again. What I want you to do is think about it. It's not a good thing to do. Yeah. Maybe we can talk about getting you a summer job because I know how you want to buy a car.
Lucian's a piece of shit, by the way.
He is a piece of shit because he sold you oregano and told you it was pot.
I know, it's
but the way Damien handled that situation was really...
that does sound great.
Yeah, it was really a good situation. I liked that a lot. And then there's Robert. Robert is like this like fucking insane outcast kind of guy. And you don't know what's true about his life and what's fake.
He's like the Dean Winchester
yeah.
of Supernatural. Like he's just that gruffy, like mysterious, like brooding. I'm so cool and drink whiskey. And I drive a motorcycle and an old truck.
Yep, that's it. Him in a nutshell. His first date's fun though. You go out with him and Mary.
Yes.
And you ditch Mary after a little while because she's spooning with some guy trying to get some free drinks.
Alcohol whore of the life.
Yep. True story though. And so you go out with him, you have a good time. He doesn't proposition you again. So this time it's more like normal. But when you first message him, he takes like 10 hours to get back to you.
Oh, wow.
Because like you message him and then it's nighttime and he's like, hey, what's up? I'm outside right now.
Oh, jeez.
So and he's like a social outcast. He believes in cryptids too.
Yes.
He's a big cryptid guy.
He has a tattoo of this symbol on his hand, and at the barbecue you see it and you bring it up and you're like, what's that tattoo? And he's like, nothing. Hides it and then never talks about it again.
Yeah. And it's probably nothing because he just makes everything.
It's definitely something.
Oh, is it something?
Yes, I will let you know later.
He's a weird guy because everything he says is like
there's a reason that he's a weird guy.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all the first dates for the dads. Then I think my favorite ones were Matt's and Damien's, honestly, because both of them were just fun.
So we'll do Matt, Damien, and then talk about Robert's second date too. because that deals with the secret story too.
Let's talk about Joseph's too. Just because
Okay.
Joseph's was funny. So Matt's second date. Go ahead with Matt's.
All right, we'll do Matt, Joseph, and Roberts then.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Matt's second date, he takes you to a vinyl shop. He's talking about going to buy vinyls. He goes there like once a week.
This is Vinyl Fantasy Center.
Yes. And
This is where you learn about his open mic too. He has like a monthly open mic show
yes.
at his coffee shop. He owns a coffee shop. If we didn't say that already.
Yes, the Coffee Spoon.
Yes.
It was named after that because of a poem that he liked.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go to this vinyl shop with him, you're talking about kind of music. He gives you like this little questionnaire of just like a bunch of just random questions, and then he's like, "Oh, this is a perfect band for you."
My favorite question was the one where he was like, "What is your greatest fear?" And you could say that I'm the only real person in reality, and all of you were made up by my mind.
Yeah, that one was so. I love that one too because that was dark as fuck. I picked that one because of how dark it was. I was
It
like,
was pretty fucking dark.
"Oh shit!" Like that, and I was really high when I was playing that episode. So like that one was like.
You're
This
like,
is dark.
This is what it is.
This is dark. I don't want to think about that right now. I'm too paranoid right now. So yeah.
If you were a milkshake, what milkshake would you be? And I think I chose strawberry.
Oh yeah. I forgot what kind of milkshake I said.
It was vanilla, strawberry, cookie dough.
Oh, I said cookies and cream.
Cookies and creams. And then what was the last one?
Mint.
No, it was a stupid one. Like you could always
Oh,
do
it
a
was the
dumb.
pistachio one, wasn't it?
I don't remember. It was always like a dumb answer for the last one.
Yeah.
So it was like a pistachio fuckface. Like, it's like that.
So yeah, he gives you all this questionnaire. He gets a band that he thinks you would like. You buy that vinyl. He buys like 3 or 4. Then you're talking about like bands you used to like and things like that. You talk about being in a ska band. He talks about being in a band a little bit. And then
Yeah, you were in the Communist Manifesto.
yes, which is a great name.
It's just so fucking stupid. In high school, I might add.
Yes, it was a 7-piece ska band.
Yeah, each one went their separate way to do solo careers.
Yes. So, yeah, you're doing that, and then he starts talking to you a little bit about like wanting to go listen to him, and he's like, "Man, I used to love like smoking weed and listening to stuff." And he's like, "Oh, I don't know how you feel," and he's like, "I haven't smoked in like 20 years," and you're like, "I haven't smoked in like 20 years," and
I found that hard to believe.
then you get the option to say like, "I wonder if we can find some."
And then, well, he asks you, like, do you want to smoke pot?
Oh, yeah.
And you can say, no, not a drug addict. Or you can say, fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah. So I said, fuck yeah, bro, because I was already high at the time. And then he starts texting some people. And then he's like, oh, the girl from the vinyl shop. Well, actually know someone we can get weed from. We'll meet him in the alley at like 10 o'clock or whatever, which turns out to be Lucian.
Yeah.
Damien's son.
It's either Lucian or Lucian. I couldn't decide on it.
I thought it was Lucian just because, like, Lucian's a very popular vampire.
Yeah, but I thought it was Lucian just because it's Damien.
It could be.
So either one. It could honestly be either one, and it doesn't really matter.
No,
but yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
he sells you pot, and it's great because he asks you how much you want, and you say one.
I love this part because you say one, and he's like, one what? He's like, one pot?
One pot.
And then he's like, Matt, how much do you want? And Matt's like, one?
Yeah. And you have some options here. I messed up here big time. I kept picking the wrong stuff.
I did too.
I said something about nug, I'm pretty sure. And then he asked you to, like, you could impress him with your pot lingo because he's like, how do I know you're not the feds?
Yeah.
And you say weed is not actually illegal because you had said that earlier, and Matt said weed isn't actually illegal in the States anymore.
Yeah.
But you can use your pot lingo to impress him, and you're really bad with it. And it's really funny. But Matt doesn't like it if you do that.
The one thing that Matt liked that I didn't do in that scenario was picking, because the one other option was cite the destruction of blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And that was the right answer to pick.
Weird.
And I was like, oh, okay. I think it was a band
Oh,
that you were quoting or something.
probably. Or a pun of some kind.
yeah.
He loves puns.
But yeah, he's like, just give me $10 and I'll give you this baggie. You take the baggie and you open it up, you're like, that smells great. And you go back to Matt's place and he starts rolling it up.
Mm-hmm.
And you stop at the gas station first. And you get rolling papers and
soda.
snacks and soda, and then he starts rolling it up, and you start talking about music and your love of music, and he tells you that. And he's got like posters of him in like a band, and so you're like, "Oh, you were in a band, blah blah blah." And he tells you that he was in a band with his wife.
Yep.
And that's when he stopped playing.
When his wife died.
Yeah. So you kind of gather that
piece
information
it together.
Yeah.
Because you piece it together after the third date, but you knew.
Yeah, I definitely figured it out during that date because I was like, "Oh, you haven't played in a long time, and oh, you haven't done this, and oh, yep, it's probably when your wife died." But you start to smoke it, and you're like, this is what weed feels like. It doesn't really taste or anything. And then he takes a puff, and he's like, "This is
wait a second.
This is oregano."
Well, he takes another puff and then says, "Yep, it's oregano."
So that little bitch ass Lucian.
Yep. Fucked you. That's the second time he's fucked you over. Because remember when you went to the school, you had to meet with the teacher, and he said it was over in this area, and then that's not where the teacher was.
And he said it was upstairs.
Yeah, and you were right. He was standing right next to the teacher's classroom. Fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, little fucking dick, Lucian. So yeah, Lucian did that. You convince Matt, like, this is where you have an option. You can play some, and you're like rock him out with your famous ska material, and you start playing Deep Purple Smoke on the Water instead.
Like, that's all I remembered how to play.
So then, you ask Matt to play, and he says, "No, man, I don't play music anymore." And then you can either push it or drop it.
Yeah.
And if you push it, he likes that. If you drop it, he doesn't like that.
Yeah, and if you push it once, he likes it. And then I give you the option to push it again, and I didn't push it again.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, he probably just doesn't want to play because of his wife. Like, I'm going to respect that. And I don't want to push him because I really like this guy. I definitely want to keep dating him. I'm not going to be a dick. But apparently, if you do push him one more time, he actually does play for you.
Yeah, he does.
I'm like, fuck!
Yes, and I pushed him both times, and I got him to play, and then eventually your character says, "Okay, I don't want to ask him too much. I'll drop it now."
Yeah.
So then, that's pretty much it for that date. You walk home, and you promise never to tell anyone that you smoked oregano.
Yep.
So... And then you go home, and your daughter's like, "What smells like pizza?" And you're like, "What?
Nothing.
No?
Shut up."
Nothing? Shut up. Then that's where you get the dad pun.
Yes.
Yeah, so, who did we say? Joseph.
Yes.
So Joseph's second date, actually, he almost redeemed himself for me.
Oh, okay.
So this one, he asks you to be a chaperone. Again, it's just a fucking, the problem with these dates is some of them just turn out to be fucking work.
Yeah.
And he asks you to be a chaperone for a youth dance.
Oh, okay.
So you go to the dance and there's no one there, and you see that on the poster it says Jesus is coming, C-U-M-I-N-G. And he's like, "Oh, that's not good." But Amanda's with you, and she's like, "Yep, that's definitely really bad."
Yeah.
So you go and you fix it, and you say calming. Then no one's dancing. Like, no one wants to party with you. So you get Joseph, and you two start dancing together.
Oh, wow.
And you can do an assortment of different things.
Okay.
To get the kids excited. And if you get them excited, they'll all come dancing with you.
Oh, nice.
So it was actually a lot of fun to do that. That was pretty fun. And then in your first date, he talks about, like, sometimes I just wish you could go to Margaritaville and just stay on a beach and drink margaritas and be fine. Like, life should be a Jimmy Buffett song.
Yep.
And so he takes you downstairs to his office, and he made Margaritaville for you guys. There's 2 lawn chairs in there and margaritas in there, and it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was really, I'm like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty neat.
That sounds like a cute date idea, actually.
So then after this date, if you go out, Mary's like, "Hey, homewrecker."
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, Jesus, I just hung out with him. Just like, I didn't even fuck him. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
So, but the date ends up actually being pretty cool for that reason.
Nice.
So he did have a cool second date. I did like it a lot. But all right. So then Robert's second date.
Yes.
Robert's second date is fucking weird. So you text him in the morning.
Yeah.
Doesn't get back to you. Amanda's having a rough day, so you make her a pie. Like, your whole day, the first part of this date is you doing stuff for Amanda.
Okay.
And then at night, you go to bed and you start hearing dings on your computer, and it's like, "Hey, I'm outside. I'm outside right now. Come outside right now before I start honking my horn. I'm outside." And then you wake up and you're like, "What the fuck?" And you put on your going outside pants, and you go out, and he's like, "Let's go somewhere." And you're like, "Oh, okay, I guess we're going somewhere." And he drives onto the highway, and you're like, "This is where I die." This is where I'm going to die.
I didn't ask if you were an axe murderer.
Yep. So then he takes you up to like almost like a lookout.
Yeah, like a lookout point. One of those like makeout points in most movies.
Yeah, so you go out there and you're just hanging out, and he hands you a knife and he hands you wood, and he's like, go ahead and just whittle. Because he pulls out a knife and you're like, he's going to stab me. He's going to stab me. And then he's like, did you think I was going to stab you? And you're like, no. And then in your mind, you're like, yes. And he hands you a knife and you guys start whittling together. And you have to remember, like on Robert's stuff, he says some of the best things in life is just being quiet and taking in what's around you.
Yeah.
So if you talk a lot, if you try to small talk Robert, you will lose points.
Yeah.
So I never lost points with Robert.
Nice.
Yeah, he would have been like a perfect ending for me if I chose him.
Nice.
I don't know if there is a perfect ending for these guys, but if there was an absolute perfect ending, Robert would have been mine.
Nice.
But at the end of the date, he's like telling you about the Dover ghost.
Yes.
And then you see something in the distance because he tells you that he saw it. And you can either call him on it or tell him you believe him or something. And then you see out in the distance something and you're like, let's get back in the fucking car. And you start driving. Then you have the option to either say, because he starts getting a little deep with you. And you can say, well, we can go back to the ghost and end it all right now. And I said that. And I thought he hated it. And then it turned out that's his best option.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what? But you get a knife from this. That's why we
Yes.
brought up this second date. But he was my...
And the Dover ghost. I needed you to bring up the Dover ghost as well. That's also important to the story.
Dover ghost. Okay, so then let's talk about Matt's third date.
All right, so Matt's third date is the open mic night at his shop.
Yep.
And so you're going there.
Hold on, you start out this date...
Yes.
Wearing sandals.
Oh God, I love this.
It's so good.
Why did I almost forget about the sandal part of this?
So you're starting out trying to get dressed, and Amanda comes to your door and says, "Dad, what are you wearing?" And
you are not wearing those.
Sandals. And she wants you to, he says, what are you, the fashion police? And she's like, yep, and those are going directly into the evidence locker. And then you're like, what's the evidence? And she's like, the trash. It's so good. So you bring your sandals to the trash, or you can like fight her on it, or you can agree with her. I was like, fine, she probably knows what she's doing.
That's exactly what I did.
So then you can bring the sandals to the trash, you can say something.
You'll ask advice?
Yeah, so I don't remember what I said. I think I won't be the same man without you is what I chose.
Oh, I chose talking about the amount of service they did for me.
Oh, okay. Some heroes don't wear capes.
And so when he's dropping into the trash, he's like, we've been through a lot of things. You know, if the poem of Footprints in the Sand was an actual item, it would have been you, Sandals.
So the third one was my favorite because it's like some heroes don't wear capes. They have Velcro. It was good.
That's awesome.
It was really funny.
Seriously, no matter which choice you chose, it was fucking funny
The
almost
second
every
choice
time.
was a little funny, but the third one was just my favorite one.
Yeah.
Because I ended up looking them all up. And I was like, oh, these are so fucking good.
Yeah.
So then you go to the
coffee shop.
Coffee shop.
So yes, you're at the coffee shop and everyone's getting ready. Pablo's there immediately. You're talking to Pablo.
Hugo and Damien are there.
Yes. You introduce Pablo to Amanda.
You introduced him before.
I hadn't. This was the first time Pablo and Amanda met each
it
other.
was one of the extra stuff that I had on the side was Pablo came in and then Amanda said that which music sucked. Or which house music sucked.
That was at that date, right then.
So for me, it happened way earlier.
Oh, okay.
So literally...
Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. I think you're probably right.
Yeah. So it happened way earlier, and it's important because Damien asked what it is, and you're like, Amanda says it sucks. So,
yeah. So, that's right. Yeah. That was earlier because of that.
Yeah.
So, everyone's there. You're meeting... You're talking to all these people. You wonder where Matt's at. Matt's in the back. He's getting stuff ready. You find out that Pablo and the Vacant Veil are actually playing at the show.
Vacant Veil is just this, it's like a DJ almost. He's a DJ doing like...
He
weird.
puts sounds together and sings.
Yeah, no,
to
well,
it
no.
sometimes.
No, he just puts sounds together. He's just a DJ. I thought it was a full band. I thought he was like a punk rocker, and Witch House Music was like a punk band.
I thought it was gonna be like one of those saw bands, like one of those weird.
Yeah,
like,
but it turned out it was just him as a DJ, and he actually had a big following.
yeah.
Yeah, his show was actually pretty good, apparently.
And everyone said the music was actually like really catchy
Yeah.
and stuff. And
But Pablo and Matt are in the back talking, and they're
Yep.
just like going over the list of people, and you offer to help, and he's like, no, we got it. And they go over the list, and it's Vacant Veal, the girl from the record store, she had her band, I can't, the third something or the three something.
the Three Tones or something
I
like
don't
that.
remember, but then it's shoot, I don't remember the third one.
Wasn't it the Magic Act?
No, it was someone singular, I thought. I don't remember. Anyway, there's a third one, and then there's a magic act, and then spoken word poems, and then
Yeah.
the final, the piece of resistance.
Was supposed to be that 17-piece trash band that opened up for Pup.
Yeah, and then he was like, no, they're not playing here. They didn't pay their bill last time. They lit their
Yeah.
bassist on fire, and the fire marshal shut us down. And
Yep.
I'm like, you could have just said they didn't pay you for all
Yeah,
their
no,
drinks. I
seriously.
would have been like, fuck that band.
Seriously.
Get them out of here.
And so, so he tells them no, and they're like, well, we got to fill the spot. If we can't just tell them no, what are we going to do? And so you get the option to say whether you want to push Matt and say you should do it because you used to play,
Yeah.
or you can offer to play.
Yeah, so if
And-
you push Matt to do it, he doesn't like that.
Nope, he doesn't.
Well, he
That
told
was-
you he didn't like the anxiety of being
Yeah,
around
I
people.
know.
That's why I was like, I'll do it. And then I love the little monologue you do if you
Oh,
say,
yes.
I'll do it. It's like, what am I doing? I shouldn't do this. No, it'll be great.
So you get those same monologues if you do it, if you push him. Because if
Okay.
you push him, he's like, no, I can't. And he gets all upset. But then you get the option again to be like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So you get those same monologues, even if you try to push him at first.
It's so funny. You're just freaking out. It's so
Yeah, and you're
funny.
like, what am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to play. Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. I don't know what I'm going to do. And you start freaking out, and Matt's like, are you really going to do this? And he's like, wow, that's so like awesome of you.
Yeah.
And can't believe you're going to do it. And you're just sitting there nervous the entire time. And then you go up to Amanda, and you're like, so I'm playing tonight. And she's like, no.
Father, no. She did not like that.
And so, yeah, they start the show.
Everyone does fairly decent. Then you come up. Matt's obviously like nervous after every single thing. My favorite was he was reading from his hand that he wrote his stuff on.
Yes.
And he's like, what did he say? He mistook two words.
Oh, what were those
I don't
words?
remember what, but it's smudged on his hand. And he's like, no, I meant to say this. Sorry, the sweat from my hand.
Yeah.
I'm sweating profusely, so the ink is rubbing.
I don't know why I'm telling you all of this. Here's the next act.
It's pretty funny, actually. So then you get up there, and literally they're playing like you are moving your mouse and the movement buttons on the right
Yeah.
or left side to play the piano, and you're playing terribly.
Yes.
And there's lyrics on the screen
That you
you're
can sing
supposed
along
sing.
to.
And you're singing the Ska Trek Enterprise or Beam Me Up Scotty.
Beat me up, Scotty.
Yeah, it was so fucking funny. I
was-
loved it.
It was so bad.
And you kept saying the Ska Trek Enterprise, and it just made me laugh.
Yes. And then after that, everyone's kind of like meh about your music.
Yeah,
They're not hating it, but
one
they're not
person
loving
is
it.
clapping, and it's probably Amanda.
And so then Matt actually gets up and he starts playing.
He's playing with the
you.
guitar.
Yeah.
And he does a great job.
No, everyone loved it. Everyone's like, holy shit, he's playing again.
He played some stuff from his solo.
Yep.
And then
He ended up playing 3 songs total?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then he's like saying bye to everyone after the show, and you're talking to people, and people saying how great you and Matt were, and blah, blah, blah. And afterwards, you go up to Matt, and Matt's like, I just got to do something, and he kisses you.
Yep.
And you're like, whoa, mixed signal, bro.
I was like, yes, finally.
So he kisses you, and you kiss him back, and you like talk about it, and blah, blah, blah. And so we won't talk about the last part yet. We'll go into
Yeah.
Joseph's thing.
So we're going to the secret ending
Yes,
now?
go for
okay.
it.
So when this game was first made, they had planned to have this cult ending for Joseph. And it wasn't going to be a secret ending at all. It was just going to be the ending for Joe's final date.
Yeah.
And what happened was is they decided to go against it, but it was still in the code. When people got a hold of this game, just like every crazy gamer does. They go through the entire code and they're like, what all is in here that was taken out?
Yeah.
So they find all the pieces and they found a way to actually make this hidden level 18 was what it was called, that was part of the game and taken out. So they actually recreated it and posted it. I forgot what the guy's name. It's something Panda is the guy's name.
Manda Panda?
No. I don't remember the guy's name, but he's the famous one for it. If you look up Secret Cold Ending, you'll see his video first. It's got over 3 million views for it. But he's talking about that and he shows it. But they actually then decided that because of how big of a following that video got and how viral that video went, they decided to patch in the secret ending.
Nice.
And to do the secret ending, you had to, at the beginning of the game where you make your daddy, you had to make your daddy look a certain way. You had to pick exact certain items and make him look an exact way. And then you had to name him Jimmy Buffett. And when you typed in the last letter for Buffett, the music changed to dark and ominous tones.
Oh.
And then it shifted things entirely. And apparently and I think I wasn't able to do this because I never went on the Robert dates. So I think if I do the Robert dates, I'll be able to get this.
Yeah.
But then it'll pop up with a menu saying, welcome to the real Margaritaville. And it'll say, if you haven't played the game, we'll let you play the game fully until this point. Or if you've played the game already, you can skip to the end, third date of Joseph. And so you can do that, and obviously if you played the game already, you can just pick to go ahead and go to the ending. So if you head to the ending, you go on the third date with Joseph, which in the third date with Joseph, you go out on his yacht. He's fully deciding that he's going to break up with his wife. And
because she's a whore.
Yes.
She's an alcoholic whore.
So he takes you out on his yacht, and you sleep together on his yacht.
Nice.
And you wake up, I think, back at your place in the regular version, but in the secret cult version, you sleep with him on the yacht, and then you wake up tied up in a dungeon with cult symbols everywhere. And that cult symbol that you see was the tattoo that Robert has on his hand.
Oh, damn.
And you're like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden you hear someone talking to you, and then walks in. It's Joseph wearing all black robes, and
his kids are, like we said, creepy as fuck. So this all makes sense.
Well, they're actually demons.
Oh, interesting.
They're actually just vessels for him and the dark deity that he's trying to bring to life.
Interesting.
So they're not actually human kids.
Okay, always good.
Yes, and they actually show that they have black eyes once you see them in the dungeon.
Yeah.
But so Joseph then starts talking to you about everything. He's like, and at first you're like, is this a sex thing? I don't want to be a part of this. This is a sex thing. And he's like, oh, it's so funny you think this is a sex thing.
This is totally a sex thing.
He's like, I'm a man of the cloth for sure, but a different cloth than everyone thinks I am.
Oh.
And so he talks about how his entire family for generation has been
luring in daddies.
Yes, luring in daddies and feeding off of their darkest fears and depression and stuff like that. And so what he does is he is actively set out to kill or break up every daddy that lives in that cul-de-sac and give them opportunities to get a house in that cul-de-sac and bring them in, hang out with them for a great amount of time, get to a point where he can sleep with them, take them out to the yacht, bring them down to the dungeon, and then do this.
So exactly what you did.
Yes. So he's been doing this, and your house is one of the main houses that he actually kills the daddies for.
Oh. Nice.
And there's all these secret tunnels underneath all the houses with secret entrances into all the houses. And you find out, like, you're like thinking like, oh wait, like all this weird shit and dungeon shit and creepy shit and demon shit, like, you know, like about the Dover ghost? And he's like, ha, I am the Dover ghost.
Oh.
I used to scare the shit out of Robert all the time. and stuff like that. And I think Robert was actually taken down here. Oh, I forgot to mention that before the date too.
Yeah.
So before you actually go onto the yacht in the secret ending, Robert stops you.
Oh.
He actually like stops you on the dock. He's like, you don't want to go up there. Joseph isn't always what he seems. You think you're just going to go out, have a great vacation on a yacht, sleep with him, do all this great stuff, and it's going to be all frou-frou and happiness? He's like, it's not going to be.
It's not how it actually is.
Trust me, I know. And then, so you can decide to go on the date or not. And if you go on the date, obviously you sleep with him and you gotta come to the dungeon. But yeah, Robert actually tries to warn you, and I think that's why he has the cult symbol on his hand, is because he's been through this situation, but he survived.
Oh, weird.
So yeah, then you start talking and you start like thinking in your head, and this game does a really good job when you're having like thoughts in your head that it changes the text box to be like an eternal thing. And he's reading your mind the entire time. So every time you try thinking different things, he's like, why would you think about her? Or why would you think, oh, what about the wife and kids? Who cares about that alcoholic, horrible wife? And who cares about those kids? Those aren't really kids.
They're demons.
And yeah, all this stuff. And it's just crazy and funny. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on? But then Mary comes in after he leaves you for a second, because the kids come in like, Father, I'm hungry. Father, when are we gonna feast on him? And stuff like that. And so then Mary comes in and she's like, I'm so sorry this is happening to you. I hate that we've done this more times and time again. And that's why she's an alcoholic, because she's knowing that this has been happening. And so she decides the conscience is getting too great, so she tries to help you out. And she lets you escape out of the shackles and stuff.
Yeah.
Unties you. And then you start running because you start hearing Joseph's voice and you start hearing the kid's voice. And it describes you as running and running and running. And the rooms get smaller, then bigger, then smaller. Then you're crawling, then your things. Then your feet are bruised. They're bleeding. They're like almost broken. They're mangled. All of your clothes are tattered and worn. And you're like, I'm so dehydrated and hungry. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's been hours or days or weeks or maybe even a month that you've been running in this dungeon.
Yeah.
And then you pass out and you wake up in your bed.
Uh-huh.
And Amanda starts talking to you.
Oh.
And then you start like asking Amanda a bunch of questions. And Amanda seems a little off on the dialogue. You're like, these aren't as funny as things as she normally says. Yeah. And so then you can ask her, when's your birthday? Dad, you forgot my birthday again? Like, really? Why would you do that? Blah, blah, blah. And then you start like keep on asking her questions and stuff.
When's your fucking birthday?
And then he's like, how'd you know it was me? And her eyes turn black.
Oh.
And so he's actually like messing with you mentally and like making visions and like fully like,
this is dark.
Yeah. He's extremely powerful.
Nice.
So then you wake up, or you open your eyes again, you're still in the dungeon. Yeah. You're tied up in the dungeon. And that's but you are untied. So he's brought you back into the dungeon, but you're untied at this moment. You then remember that Robert gave you that knife from that second date. And so you actually pull the knife out and try to stab him, but he smacks the knife away. Yeah. And he starts strangling you. And he's like, fine, if we're going to play it this way, I'll just kill you right now. And then that's when Mary comes in and stabs him. Yes.
She's like, take that. I'm an alcoholic.
Then he starts bleeding.
You're a dead whore.
Then the kids come to the dad and try helping him out. And then you and Mary walk out and run out. Yeah. Then you wake up 2 days later, actually in your bed. Okay. And Amanda comes and talks to you, and then you ask her the same questions. She actually answers this time. Yeah. And then Mary comes in with a cop. And the cop was supposed to be this... There's a spot in the gallery where it has all the 7 dads and there's an empty space. Yeah. And a lot of people think that empty space was supposed to be for this cop daddy. Because he said he's been watching you for a long time. He talks about his daughter a little bit. Yeah. He says that he kind of wants to keep this situation hush-hush, like for Mary's sake and for his sake. And they're going to help you out and keep a watch on you and stuff like that. And They said they can't find Joseph anywhere. They can't find his body. They don't know what happened to him.
Nice.
And then the cop kind of is like, hey, if you ever want to talk sometime, here's my number.
Oh. So yeah, so it makes sense that cop was originally part of like the dating game. Yeah.
But yeah, and there's a whole thing. There's like videos that people have made of like the whole lore of that secret ending explained.
Yeah.
And like what creepypasta it came from and blah, blah, blah. And like all this other shit. And I was like, damn, this is crazy.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yes.
Pretty good secret ending.
Yes.
So then the ending of the game is Amanda's party day. So this can go any of one of two ways for Amanda.
Yeah.
You can either have it where you're both appreciative of each other and you say you'll see each other as soon as you can, blah, blah, blah. Or you can have it where Amanda breaks up with you.
Yep.
So Amanda can actually break up with you if you were too rough on her for decisions she made during this. So her friends at one point basically tell her that she's not part of the group anymore.
Yeah.
She's freaking out about it, and you can be stern with her and make her tell you what's wrong. But if you do that,
she hates you and resents you for it.
She resents you for it, and a plethora of other options later on leads to her breaking up with you.
There's a lot of stuff we didn't talk about in this video so far, just because we don't want to give everything away. And like, there's a lot of things with Amanda that are just really awesome stuff that I think you guys would just love. Honestly, the stuff with Amanda is probably one of some of the favorite parts of the game.
She's hilarious. So she comes over. For me, she came home from school or from whatever she was doing. You made something for her. You bought her. No, you bought her the entire Ice Road Paranormal Truckers DVD set, all 19 seasons.
I love their TV shows.
They had a bunch of funny TV shows, but you bought her that, and she was super excited. And then you ask her if she wants to throw the old pigskin around, and she says yes.
Oh, I did something different.
And you go outside, and it's a party. What happened at yours?
Did you not make her the cake that says I'm sorry and stuff?
No, that was way earlier.
Oh, okay.
That was way earlier.
Well, I thought you were talking about that stuff too.
No. Well, so that you do a bunch of stuff again around Amanda, but we're not going to go into too much of that.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're at the end.
You do the whole pig thing.
Yeah, so you do the pigskin thing and you go out, and it turns out you threw a surprise party for her too. Graduation
With all
party.
of the people from the neighborhood.
Yep.
All the dads and
all their daughters
and
none
kids.
of her friends from her school of her age.
They all hate her.
Because they all hate her. Woo! So then, like I said, either you break up with her here or you're happy with her.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. And
I was happy with her at the ending of mine.
Yeah, I was happy with her at the ending of mine too. And then you talk to all the dads, and depending on if you went on the dates or not, they actually say different things.
Yep.
So if he went on Brian's second date, he'll be like, hey, we should go out swimming again. I can save you from drowning once more. Because he saved you from drowning on the second date. So just stuff like that. And at the end of it, your choice dad will either break up with you or stay with you. And mine stayed with me. Matt stayed with me.
And he broke up with me.
Because
I tried pushing for him to sing too much.
Yep. So, not enough and then too much.
Yep, not enough and then too much.
Yep. So Matt didn't break up with me. He just says, hey, we still on for dinner tonight with Carmencita and Amanda? And you're like, hell yeah.
Yeah, he says this. He says the dinner thing for me too. And then he's like, hey, I know we've been having kind of fun these last couple of days or weeks or whatever it's been. But I care about you a lot, and I want to keep being your friend, but I think that's all I want to be.
I don't want to fuck you anymore.
And I was like, but Matt, no! You're the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
I don't want to go with Joseph.
I don't.
No, but yeah, so for me, Matt stayed together. It just depends. There's nothing after the credits either. There's no cool credit song or anything like that. But that's pretty much the ending.
I guess you do get a special screenshot card if you actually got Matt to sing. You got a special screenshot where he was actually playing a guitar. I didn't get that.
Oh, I got
either. That. I didn't get him. I didn't play a guitar with him. So.
Oh, really?
He played guitar with me at the third date, but I didn't get him to play on the second date.
Oh, got you.
And if you got him to play on the second date, then you got that special card.
Nice, yeah. I got that card, and I got the one where Amanda's happy too.
So I got the Amanda happy card.
Yeah, so if you didn't... Yeah, I'm imagining if she broke up with you, you didn't get that card then.
Yeah, I'm guessing you would.
Yeah, so...
Because I didn't get the Matt card, so...
Yeah. So that's, that makes sense. That follows.
Yeah.
But luckily you can save at any point in this game. So if you fuck up, if you save before every day starts.
I should have done that.
Yeah, then you can just go back. There's no real need. You kind of get a feel for it after the first couple of things said. You figure out who they are and what they'll like. So, or you can
and
just
if you
guess.
read their dad book accounts, you
Yeah.
kind of get a glimpse of all the things they like too.
And with Amanda, it's easy. Just don't be pushy.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that was Dream Daddy. Wait,
That was the story time.
that was the story time. So here we go on.
Worf, or nah.
It's fucking nah. This game's garbage. Shit.
You're shit.
Yeah, I am shit. And shit, no shit. This game is shit.
God damn it, no. Don't listen to him.
No, it's not. This
This game is fucking Worth entirely.
Yeah, I have to agree. Worth is probably what I'm going to go
Yeah.
with. It's funny. You don't feel, it does feel like a long time. I will say that. It's one of those
It
games
does
because
feel a
you're
little
reading
long.
nonstop.
Yeah.
So it feels long, but that's only because the point of the game isn't like these big moments where
Yeah.
you get this cool cutscene or you're doing something on a controller that's occupying your
Yeah.
time. You're really just staring and reading. So it can feel long, but the comedy in it is just on fucking
And honestly,
point.
like if you don't like playing these games, but you like watching like streamers and stuff,
Yeah.
watch one of us play this game or watch your favorite streamer play this game.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've played it.
Yeah.
I know Markiplier's played it. PewDiePie's probably played it. Like all these
Yeah.
guys have played it. So honestly, like you can find tons of gameplay for it. And honestly, we're Scott's already posted a few. I'm going to be posting a bunch soon
Markiplier
too.
probably went up and said, "Oh, it's a dad. Oh." He talks all fucking weird because he's a fucking lunatic.
I love Matt. Markiplier.
I don't like him. He's funny at some points and then he pushes it too far
He does push it a little far sometimes.
every
but
time.
He's a great singer.
In his Doki Doki one, he did like a really funny thing for the first 3 names. He's like, I should be this name, this name, this name. Could have stopped right there. Nope, this name, this name, this name. Are you gonna hear sick of hearing this shit? This name, this name, this name, this name. Like, and it just got so boring. I'm like, dude, you just
Yeah.
gotta fucking like not push it so far. You could have cut all of that extra stuff
That's just
out.
not your part. Not your comedy.
No. It was funny for the first 3, but then
Yeah.
after the next 25, it wasn't funny anymore.
Because I mean, I've watched a lot of his playthroughs. Jen and I both really like his playthroughs.
He's good at making like shitty faces, and
So,
he's good at
I think
repeating the same thing.
The thing
over
that's
and over again.
the thing that's for me one of the reasons why I like him so much is the first streamer I started watching was PewDiePie,
Yeah,
and everyone's better than PewDiePie. Like I love PewDiePie, but
Oh, I
he's
never
so
watched him.
annoying. He's so annoying, and he gets way worse than Markiplier does.
he doesn't like the Jews, so I don't watch him. He's anti-Semitic, I think.
I don't.
That's why
know.
Disney dropped him. I think is because he made an anti-Semitic comment.
I know. Yeah, he also did something else.
Yeah, he's
I
a
forgot
giant
what he
piece of
did.
shit. If he's anti-Semitic, he's just a giant piece of shit. So, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
I don't mind him.
But anyway, this game totally worth it. If you, and like you said, if you don't like playing it, watch someone play it.
Yeah.
It's a good game to get the comedy out at the very least and hear
yeah.
the story, because the story is like really cool and the sweet moments are really sweet. The funny moments are really funny. Like it's an A+ game for sure.
Oh,
they did such a good
100%.
job.
Like-
This is what I wanted Doki Doki to be, and then it wasn't.
I love Doki Doki.
I
so
did
much
too, but
this is
wasn't-
better than Doki Doki.
Yes.
though. I will give it that.
Just the ending of Doki Doki made me so upset, and then this one did not. So,
well, yeah, Doki Doki is way more extreme.
yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm sure we'll play that at some point.
at some point.
Which we both already have played it, so we can just talk
Yep.
about it and rewatch it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for this one.
Yeah, A+ game. Play it, watch it, do something with it. You guys will love it.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate everyone for listening and watching again. Check us out on all our little socials. Poser67 on YouTube, The Gooey Magoo on Instagram, or at The Gooey Magoo, The Gooey Magoo on YouTube, and at The Stephen McGee on TikTok.
Yes. And we
No,
also
no more. That's it.
That's it. That's all we get.
That's all we get.
We did actually start a Facebook page. I'm going to be posting all of our video content on that.
It's called Come Dumpsters Live. Please check us out on Facebook. Come Dumpsters Live with an @ sign at the end and the beginning. Just look it up. You'll find it. Don't worry. And it's us.
It's Soul of a Gamer Podcast.
What? No, it's not.
is the name of our page. You can find that on Facebook. It's got our logo on it with the podcast symbol. I'm going to be posting all of our videos, and I'm going to be posting other content on it. I'm going to be making more TikTok videos. I posted one actually for Ori and the Blind Forest. I'll be posting one for Dream Daddy tomorrow when we actually post this video out. And then I'll also be posting videos. I'm going to get some questions from you guys for us to answer on our podcast.
Yeah, I'm not answering questions.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
They asked you why you like playing video games. Well,
we're not going to do dumb
Why
questions.
don't you shut the fuck up?
We're not going to do dumb questions.
All right, let's only do the dumb questions.
We're going to do questions
Let's
like...
only do the dumb questions, please.
Okay, we'll do some dumb questions just for you.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching and listening again.
Yes.
We
And
will...
next week.
Oh, yeah, next week. What's next week's game?
Subverse.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
our
that's
hentai
right.
game.
Hentai game. I'm so excited. I'm actually going to start that tonight. So excited.
I already started it. So
All right. Well, we will see you later, guys.
bye. We love you.
No, we don't.
I do.
No. Yes. No.